O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida, better known as the O-Dome to the locals in the swamp, gearing up for what should be a big-time SEC showdown between the hometown and 6th-ranked Florida Gators and the number 2 ranked team in the country, the University of Georgia Gymdogs. Hello, everybody. I'm Jen Hildreth, and let me tell you, you better be ready for a battle. For a long time, it's been Georgia and Alabama atop the SEC. But as of late, the Florida Gators proving they are a force to be reckoned with. The last time that Georgia and Florida met was in this year's Super 6 in Alabama. And in that meet, the Georgia Gymdogs found themselves in a rather unfamiliar position, finishing behind the Florida Gators. Florida pulled off their first win over Georgia since 1997. And in this meet, you better believe that nobody is taking anything for granted. Well, Georgia and Florida have both put up some big scores already this season, some of the best in the country, and it will no doubt take another big score to get the win here today. The athletes are going to have to be at their best. Mistakes at a minimum, the drama will be high. If you thought the Georgia-Florida rivalry was all about football, you better think again. For more on that, let's go now to my broadcast partner, Lori Strong-Ballard.
Thanks, Jen. One of the most celebrated all-time sports rivalry is the annual Georgia-Florida football game. And you can bet that some of that passion and energy and competitiveness will trickle down to these athletes as Georgia and Florida hit the gym floor to prove who's best. Things are buzzing here on campus.
You know, the atmosphere, everyone, when they say, you know what, who you compete against, Georgia, like, ooh, I'll be there. And it's really exciting, and that rubs off on you, and you're just like, oh, this is going to be so fun.
And that's one of the things we talked about in our meeting before we got here, is about how it's going to be just like the Georgia-Florida football game. You know, there's that much intensity, that much rivalry.
You know, we walk around campus and everybody's like, come on, let's get those Bulldogs. You know, everybody wants, you know, it's the SEC rivalry. It's big time.
It's like Georgia-Florida football. They've always beaten us, and I feel like the Gymnastics, that's kind of like our payback to them, is that we beat them every time we come here or they come to Georgia.
This rivalry goes way back. Florida dominated in the early 80s, but for the last decade and a half, Georgia has been the team to beat. But recently, the Gators have shown signs that things may be changing. I'm here with Florida head coach Rhonda Fain, and you beat Georgia first meet of the season, the first time since '97. Does that give you the confidence and possibly the edge to do what it takes to win here?
Absolutely. It was a huge boost for all of our athletes to beat Georgia the first meet of the year, and we know we can do it again, and it's only going to get better from here.
You have an incredible depth and talent on this year's team, and one of the largest freshman groups that Florida has seen in years. Tell me a little bit about the key performances we'll see from you guys tonight.
Well, obviously our strong all-arounders, we're going to see Orly Smooch and Aaron Dooley. We're also going to see freshman all-arounder Samantha Lutz, as well as Breanne King has been an unbelievable all-arounder for us so far this year. Just very consistent.
Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Jen, things to consider. Georgia's best events are vault and floor, but for Florida, it's bars and beam, and they have won the last 15 consecutive home meets. But Georgia leads the series, and they're ranked number 2 in the country. This is an incredible SEC matchup.
Well, thank you, Lori. I think we're just about ready to get going here. These Gator fans ready for this Georgia-Florida rivalry to begin. And for the Georgia Gymdogs, Suzanne Yauklin, what a job she has done in her 21st season at Georgia. 5 national championships. She's a 3-time National Coach of the Year, and it helps to have gymnasts like this. Senior Chelsea Bird, SEC Athlete of the Week, coming off her first 10 of her career on floor against Kentucky. Also had a career high 39.75 in the all-around, so she'll be one to watch. And from a senior to a phenomenal freshman, Kelsey Erickson. What a job she has done for the Gymdogs this season. She'll not be in the all-around tonight, taking one event off, but we'll still see her in 3. And for the Florida Gators, Aaron Dooley, co-captain, part of the just heart and soul of this team, an All-American in vault and the all-around. She will certainly be exciting to watch tonight, as will Orly Smooch. Talk about a fun athlete to watch. She has so much fun when she's out there and is so talented. There will be a lot of talent on the floor tonight. Georgia and Florida getting ready to tangle. Can the Florida Gators beat Georgia twice in a row? Find out when we come back. Well, welcome back to the O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida. It's just about ready to roll here in the swamp as Georgia and Florida getting ready to tangle. First rotation coming up. Florida will be starting on vault. And one thing that you're going to see, Lori, they only have 5 athletes slated for competition.
Well, actually, they do have 6 athletes slated for competition. Breanne King, their freshman sensation, sprained her ankle earlier in the week, so she is in that 6th spot, but they only want to use her if they need her, if they suffer a fall early in the lineup. And here's Aaron Dooley. Yuchenko half front layout. Nice job trying to hold on to that landing.
Aaron Dooley getting off to a good start, and as you mentioned, Lori, it's so important now for the rest of these 5 to put up good scores, a 9.85 for Aaron, because they don't really want to have to put a not 100% Brianne King in there.
Resting Brianne right now, early in the season, is what Florida needs to do, but that definitely puts pressure on the rest of her teammates. They have to hit 5 in a row.
And the Georgia Gym Dogs getting ready to go on their first event. That will be on bars. You get a look at their lineup for this event. Corey Fritzinger will be the anchor. The last one to go, but the first one we will see is Kinsey Rowe, the senior out of Houston, Texas.
Kinsey is really coming on strong right now, and bars is a great event for her. She struggled a little bit early in the season because she had a weaker dismount. They've been training the double layout and a full in back out, and here she is planning on putting the full in. Major release move, Tkachev was nicely done. Hop to eagle grip, hop to reverse grip, and she'll straddle back to handstand on the low bar. Nice job. Rise to handstand, great position, vertical in that handstand. Here comes the big dismount, it's new, full in, back out. Nice job, just a small step on the landing.
Small step, maybe getting used to that new dismount, but a solid routine nonetheless for Kinsey Rowe. She picks up a 9.875, certainly right up there. She's had a few 9.9s in this event, but that's a great score.
She always had a 10-0 start value with nice difficulty here in the Tkachev and the hop to eagle grip, but the judges want to see more. They want to see those big dismounts.
Up now for Florida, Samantha Lutz, the freshman competing in the all-around for the first time tonight.
Strong vaulter, pike half, scored out of a 10.0. Great technique and form in the air. The step on the landing, 1/10 deduction there.
Maybe a little bit of nerves, first all-around, got to get that first event out of the way.
And Jen, she said it's important to take one event at a time. She starts off nicely here. Take a look at this vault. Beautiful execution, nice lift off the horse. Her legs were glued together in the air. She just needs to find that stuck landing to get those 9.95s.
I think these Florida fans like it. They start them young here, don't they? We got lots more when we come back. Welcome back to the O-Dome in Gainesville, Florida. We are right in the heart of the first rotation between Georgia and Florida. And Georgia coach Suzanne Yocklin says there is one event in particular that they really need to focus on.
Well, definitely it's uneven bars. It's been our weakest event. In the meet 2 weeks ago where we scored the 197.375 against Kentucky, we had 2 falls on bars, and that really was our best overall meet with the exception of the 2 falls on bars. We were really, on all cylinders on the other 3 events. And that's probably our weakest event, most inconsistent event, and it's our first event in the competition tonight. So to me, that's very, very key. If we can get off to a good start and get that momentum going right at the beginning, I don't think there'll be much to hold us back.
And Georgia really did put the focus on bars this week in practice. They had an inner squad. Jay Clark put his athletes under high pressure to determine the lineup here. And Kelsey told me this is the event that she feels the most pressure on because she competes usually last or second last in the lineup. And she has huge difficulty. Giant full to Tkachev. She's not done yet. She has another major release move right here. Pike Jagger, and she's too far. And she's off. A safe landing, though. It's ideal to land in that plank position, flat on the mat, so you don't have any neck or back injuries.
Well, certainly disappointing there for Kelsey, but as you said, the important thing, she fell safely, so no injuries, just a little disappointment, have to get over and get back on there.
This is a tough element to miss and then to regain your confidence and your momentum. You see Jay, the assistant coach, the bars coach here, helping her up. She has to gain swing to do her shoot over. She really needs to finish up strong. Something the freshmen learn early in their careers is that competitions come down to tenths of a point. And this score still may be a counting score.
And things happen. You have to go on and get over with it. Kelsey ends up with a 9.275. Certainly a score that Georgia will hope to drop in this event.
She has plenty of difficulty in this routine, so the loss of difficulty is not the big issue here. 5/10 deduction, then of course trying to gain your momentum back.
And Coach Suzanne Yocklin giving her a few words of wisdom, say, hey, it's happened to the best of us. We just have to move on. You got to hope for your teammates to do their jobs now. Orly Smooch getting ready to go for Florida on vault.
Great vaulter here. Yurchenko half front layout, blind landing, not a problem. She nailed it. Technically perfect on that landing.
Rhonda Fain said Orly was a big vaulter, and that score proves it. A 9.950, season high for the whole team this year. What a vault by Orly Smooch.
What a great feeling. And assistant coach Randy Lane was emphasizing that before she vaulted, going over that landing position, bending the knees, absorbing that power, and she did exactly what coach told her.
And that's exactly what Florida's looking for. You see, there's their team total, 49.350. They had to count everybody, so it's good to get some of those all 985s, 995. That's exactly what they needed to do in this rotation. Corey Fritzinger finishing things up now for the Gym Dogs on bars.
And the pressure is on her after Kelsey's fall. She must hit to get 5 big scores for Georgia here. And Corey has made some adjustments to this bar routine. She took out her inverts here at the end of the routine. She told me that has helped her confidence. She can really swing strong right through to the dismount. There's where the inverts are. She goes into the dismount instead. Double front half out. Great job. Nice routine.
Well, Corey is one. If you have to put the pressure on anybody, she's a good one to take it, Lori. And she gets a 9.9 under pressure. Not a bad way to finish things off for the Gym Dogs in this first rotation.
Corey really is amazing under pressure. She shows it here. There's the dismount, double front half out, sees the landing. Excellent job.
Corey's 9.9 puts an exclamation point on what was a great first rotation for the Gym Dogs, a 49.3 that ties a season high. And you know what? The Florida Gators put up a pretty good first rotation score as well, 49.35. They hold the slimmest of leads. We're just getting started. Welcome back to Gainesville, Florida, where the Florida Gators are holding the slimmest of leads over the Georgia Gym Dogs as we get set to head into rotation number 2. But you better watch out, Florida fans, because if ever there was an event for Georgia to make up some room, it would be on vault.
Traditionally, this is a great event for them, and they are ranked 3rd in the country right now. Suzanne told me they can be ranked number 1 if they can clean up their landings. Doug McGavin, their vault coach, is an excellent vault technician. Technically, these athletes are the best vaulters in the country. Take a look at the block off the table we just saw from Kinsey in her Yurchenko layout full. Beautiful height and position in the air.
Kinsey Rowe winds up with a 9.875 for the Gym Dogs. Another strong score for Kinsey.
This vault is scored out of a 10.0. 1/10 was taken for the landing. That would give her the 9.975, almost a perfect score. So again, they need to hit those landings.
Meanwhile, the Florida Gators will be competing on bars in rotation number 2. This is possibly their strongest event. They are ranked 3rd in the nation in this event, Lori, just as Georgia was, but beating Georgia in the Super 6 has really given this team confidence.
I think that was really big. You know, we just went into that Super 6 meet focusing completely on ourselves. And, you know, at the end of the meet, we were like, okay, we beat Georgia. We're like, that's great, you know. And we're going to do the same thing tonight. You know, we're just going to focus on ourselves, really make sure that we're, you know, maintaining our focus completely. And we know what to do, and it'll be exciting.
Jen, we're seeing 2 great teams with very different competitive styles. Rhonda and her Florida team really emphasize the importance of staying together as a unit and focusing only on the performance at hand and not on the competitors. Whereas Suzanne and the Georgia team, they thrive after seeing their competitors compete and the scores that they're getting. They love this rivalry. Ooh. Oh, big miss for Florida. This could be a huge score for them on quite a unique skill from Orly, a Ginger that's done in bar rather than out bar. Again, we talked earlier about the importance of gaining that momentum back, making every 10th count. She has to finish strong here because you never know. This could be a counting score rather than that 6th throwaway score. And she finishes nicely. Double tuck, stuck the landing.
Well, Georgia had a fall on bars, and now Florida has one of their own, Orly Smooch, with a 9.225. As you said, Lori, you never know. They might end up having to count that score. You don't know what's going to happen. But at this point, all Florida can do is hope that the rest of the teammates will pick up the slack.
A very unexpected mistake from their top all-arounder, Orly. Fabulous on this event. She's known for her unique skills right there. An in-bar Ginger out of the giant full, a little too far.
Brittany Smith up for Georgia now on vault.
This is someone Suzanne says we're going to see some great things from in the future. We just saw a great thing from her.
The future is now.
Half layout front, and she nails the landing. Those are the kind of landings Georgia is looking for.
A 9.925, Lori, that ties her career high. What a vault by Brittany Smith to get her started here.
Suzanne was not mistaken when she said we're going to see some great things from this freshman. Beautiful laid out position in the half front layout. Blind landing, but not a problem for Brittany.
Couple falls so far. You never know what's going to happen. You better stick around. Georgia and Florida are going at it here in Gainesville, and we've got quite a meet on our hands so far. This one's still up for grabs. It is anybody's meet at this point. Kristen Stuckey will look to give her Florida Gators a leg up as she goes on bars.
One of Florida's best events. They have phenomenal difficulty and some very interesting bar teams. Healy up half, Pack Salto down to the low bar. So far, so good, and fabulous technique and form throughout this routine from Stuckey. The dismount double layout, nice job. She sees the landing, bent her legs, absorbed that power, and nailed it.
And the crowd knows that is a good score for Kristen Stuckey and the Florida Gators at 9.875. It ties the season best for Kristen.
One of my favorite release moves of this competition is this delta in the piked position, technically almost perfect.
And when it comes to perfect, it doesn't get much better than Chelsea Bird on vault. She has 3 10s in her career. Is possible of putting up that perfect score at any time.
Wow, amazing height. She's fighting for that landing and has to take the step. She nails this vault, she gets the 10, no doubt about it.
Yeah, as it is, she gets a 9.9, which is an incredible score, but as you said, Lori, she's just a toes reach away.
Look at the height she gets on this vault. She could actually add another full twist, and that would put her at the level of difficulty we're seeing at the World Championship and Olympic level. She just needs to hit those landings.
Chelsea's still one of the best out there, and Georgia finishes with a 49.375. Coming up for Florida, though, Erin Dooley, an athlete who has really had to fight through injuries in her career.
Getting injured isn't fun at all, but it definitely, it made me see what the college level was like, and I got to travel every meet that I went to, and I learned so much. And with seeing what was out there in the college level, it made me so anxious to come back and work really hard for the next year.
It's often tough going from the elite level to college gymnastics, making those adjustments. And Erin broke her tibia, first meet of her freshman season. Wow. And with her great work ethic and her tenacity, she made this injury work for her in a positive way. She competed in the all-around for the first time just last week. This is the event that has been a problem. She's been working a new dismount. Here it comes. A big, difficult double Arabian step out on the landing, but what a great routine for Erin.
And Erin is, as you said, in the all-around competition. Every score counts, a 9.825 to put toward that. She is certainly in the running in the all-around competition in this meet. And here we'll get another look at her bar routine.
There's a free up to handstand into a sky-high ginger. That is her major release move, releasing one bar and catching the same bar again.
Clean and aggressive. That was how Rhonda Fain described Erin's style on bars. Team total 49.25 for the Florida Gators. That is right on their season average, but boy, did the Georgia Gym Dogs put up a big score on vault. It was enough to put them into the lead. It is back and forth here in Gainesville. Welcome back to the O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida. We are halfway through this meet between Georgia and Florida. The Gym Dogs have just taken the lead after 2 rotations, but Florida getting set to go on beam, one of their best events. And this is really where we'll see some big scores here, Lori, where Rhonda Fain expects her athletes to do their best, but preparing for a big meet like this is never an easy thing for any coach to do.
It's probably one of the most challenging things, I believe, that any coach comes upon while they're coaching. It's, you have to build up their confidence. You have to make sure that you don't do too many numbers where their body's going to break down, and yet you do enough numbers so that they feel confident going into the competition. I put them under a lot of pressure situations in the gym. Also, I make sure that I do not put them out on the competition floor if they're not 100% ready, because that will give them doubt, and that's a hard thing to overcome.
This is one of the many ways that college gymnastics is different from the elite and club level of gymnastics. In club gymnastics, you do more numbers compared to collegiate gymnastics, because in college you're competing every weekend. You have to build momentum so you're peaking at the end of the year at SECs and national championships. Sometimes it's easy to get ahead of yourself as a gymnast or as a coach and try to throw the big difficulty early. Rhonda's done a great job in slowly adding the difficulty. We saw Erin adding that new bar dismount, which then allows her to compete in the all-around now. Beam has never been a problem for Erin. This is a fabulous event for her. She's got some unique skills. Little bobble there on her straddle jump. Cat leap, gainer full dismount. Nice solid routine, just a few slight bobbles.
Well, Erin is one of the athletes Florida expects to come up big in this event. She gets a 9.85. All of these scores, Lori, really need to be 9.85, 9.9s if you can get them, because Georgia is on floor and you don't want to let Georgia widen that gap.
Floor has been a great event for Georgia this year, but beam has been a spectacular event for Florida as well. They need to hit 5, 6 solid routines.
Makes for a great matchup here in rotation 3. Georgia on floor. This is an event, Lori, where they can really shine.
And a bright star for Georgia is the return of Marlene Stevens after she missed the entire 2003 season from tearing her Achilles tendon.
It will be great to see Marlene back out there. Ashley Coupette's the freshman and the only Georgia gym dog competing in the all-around up now.
And the only collegiate gymnast to do this tumbling pass, front layout, double front. She nails it. Big difficulty there, Jen. Ashley is a great performer as well. She really puts 100% effort, not only into her tumbling, but her choreography and dance as well. An interesting, unique middle pass, not big difficulty there. A choice that this coaching staff has made. They really only need 2 tumbling passes. She gets the difficulty from that first pass and her last pass coming up. So that middle pass is just for fun and for a filler. Georgia team is really melding together and supporting each other while they're out there competing. Even in warm-up, they're there standing on the sidelines, dancing along with their fellow teammates. It's really a lot of fun.
You see them all back there going through all the motions with her.
Front full, front layout, another clean tumbling pass. This should be a big one for Georgia.
Ashley has a pair of 9.85s already. She is right in the running for the all-around. Came in second after 2 rotations, adds another 9.85. She is having a great night so far.
Gymnastics runs in Ashley's family. Her sister, Courtney, is a world champion on bars. She tore her Achilles tendon at World Championships last year, but right now is preparing for the Olympics this summer. Talk about great support there.
Yeah, some genes in that family. Samantha Lutz, meanwhile, going for Florida on beam. And mentioned the all-around, Samantha, the freshman, she leads the all-around coming into this event.
And this event, balance beam, will be so key in her all-around performance. Possibly a breakout performance for her tonight. She has been competing 3 events all year, but not on beam. This is the first time she competes on beam. Big skill here. Front tuck. She hits it. Nice, solid job.
She may be a first-timer out there, Lori, officially, but boy, Florida needs her to come up big to hang in there with Georgia.
Rhonda has spoken so highly of this athlete and what she is capable of. Switch leap, straddle quarter. We talked about her mentioning and emphasizing the importance of taking each event one at a time. It's also important to take each element on this event one at a time, not to get ahead of yourself. You can see her concentrating right here. Dismount, that handspring layout. She's not done. Right into a layout full. Big salute. Boy, she's proud.
What a pretty routine to watch, and a strong routine for Samantha Lutz in her first official collegiate career beam. She gets a 9.875.
Most of the athletes, we see them do their tumble series on the beam. Samantha waits to the end of her routine, combines it with her dismount. Very well done.
Coming up, we've got an athlete who has not competed on floor in 2 years. Marlene Stevens will be next for the Gym Dogs. Welcome back to the O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida, where the Georgia Gym Dogs are taking on the Florida Gators. And it has been quite a meet so far. The teams trading scores back and forth. Georgia did lead coming into this third rotation, but there is still a lot to be decided. Marlene Stevens, as we talked about before, has not competed on floor exercise in 2 years.
What an amazing comeback after tearing an Achilles tendon. This is the toughest event to get back. Opening with a really high double pike for Georgia. Marlene is a major piece to their puzzle. She's capable of scoring 995s, 10-0s on floor and vault. She's known for her powerful tumbling and her big vaulting style. They can get a few meets under her belt. I think we're going to see that confidence come back, and so will those big scores. Front through to a 2.5 twist, a little bit sloppy with the legs in the twist. You can hear her teammates cheering her on from the side. Two popas connected, that gives her valuable bonus points there, looking for 5/10 in bonus points to get that 10-0 start value. So it's not just about tumbling here. They want to see the whole package. Finishing, wow, double tuck. Big difficulty for a comeback routine.
She's not taking it easy at all.
And Jen, believe it or not, this is not her greatest level of difficulty. She's capable of doing those double layouts and full ins. What a great comeback routine for Marlene and the Georgia Gym Dogs.
Marlene Stevens gets a 9.850 in her return to the floor exercise. Certainly an encouraging start for her.
This opening pass can be more difficult. She can do a double layout here, possibly a full in. You saw the height she got on that double pike and a big smile. That feels good to be out on the competition floor again.
Almost scary to think she's still got more to come. Kristen Stuckey getting set to go on beam now, co-captain for the Florida Gators.
What an amazing beam worker. You're going to see it right from the start there, showing off her strength and flexibility with her planche mount. This is where it really gets interesting here. Her tumble series, it's called an Onodi. She bends her knees and hangs on to that landing. That skill there, quite unique, is named after Henrietta Onodi, a Hungarian gymnast who competed during my time, actually. Just a little bit of history for you.
Appreciate that, as always.
Dropped her right shoulder there. She will miss this connection. Oh, but a nice cover-up. Wolf full to a changement, so she still gets the connection of 2 jumps. That's her experience working for her. She's thinking through every skill. And I can't imagine what the fans are thinking right now, showing off tremendous flexibility. Absolutely beautiful.
And the balance to do that, just incredible.
Just the dismount left. Something we're seeing a lot more of, the gainer pike dismount from the end. Not huge difficulty there, but often a smart choice for these athletes when they're competing every single weekend. It's a safe landing for the body, but what an incredible, unique routine from Kristen. Started off so strong right here. Look, a half turn to her hands, then it's a front walkover out. It's blind, it's difficult, so tough, and she held on to that landing.
Nice job by the Florida Gators. They came through and did what they had to do in this rotation on beam, Lori. They didn't fall. They hit their routines. It was clean, and now they can go into the final rotation floor with a little bit of confidence. But we've got one more competitor left in rotation 3, and you know what? She has a 10 already under her belt in this event.
It was great. If it wasn't for my teammates that competed before me, I don't think I would have gotten that 10. Kelsey did a great job beforehand with a 995. She told me, I set you up, girl, go do your job. And I went out there and did what I had to do, and I got that 10. Got a little teary-eyed at the end, so I knew it meant something for me.
It's really amazing that that was Chelsea's first 10 of her collegiate career. She's had so many 9.975s, but she's never had that 10. Suzanne has been telling her she needs to add the sparkle, a little bit of a smile, and that will give her the 10. That night she was on. Oh, amazing double layout. She floats through that, makes it look easy.
And that 10, by the way, was against Kentucky earlier this season.
Popo, Wolf 1.5, again showing that amazing height in her leaps and jumps. Chelsea has somewhat of a stoic presence, so she really needs to come out of her shell in her dance and choreography and show it off a little bit and have a lot of fun with this routine. Switch leaf fly spring to a wolf jump. Floor is so much fun to compete, but this is where it gets difficult. Heading into that last pass, it's a minute of 30 of non-stop action. She does not hold back, goes for the big difficulty, double pike. Nice job.
You can certainly see, Lori, why she is one of the best in the country in this event. She winds up with a 9.925, not quite a 10, but I'd say still pretty good.
Again, I'd like to see a little bit more sparkle from her, a little bit more showmanship. Look like she's having a lot of fun out there. Tumbling-wise, you can't get much better than this. Her opening pass was absolutely beautiful. Take a look. Her second flip rotates higher than her first flip. That's the way you do a double layout.
Suzanne Yocklin said her team had a lot of depth in this event, and now you can see why. A 49.375 for the Georgia Gym Dogs. That will allow them to move a little farther ahead of Florida, but we still have one rotation left to go. Welcome back to the O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida, where we are about to head into the final rotation between Georgia and Florida. And what a meet it has been so far. Georgia leading right now by just a quarter of a point, but it's really still anybody's meet because both of these teams have some challenges on their final events. Florida is on floor. Georgia is on beam. Not the strongest event for either team. But one competitor who we will see for Georgia is freshman Kelsey Erickson, who has really come in and made an immediate impact on this Gym Dog program.
It's awesome. It's really a lot of fun. I didn't think I was going to get the opportunity to compete as much as I have, and it's really just the best thing that I've done gymnastically in my life. It's so much fun to go out there and be a part of a team that everybody's pulling for each other, and especially at home meets when everyone in the crowd is there for you. It's awesome to have all that energy.
And remember, Kelsey is a walk-on to this Georgia team. She had offers from many of the top programs in the nation, but her dream has always been to be a Georgia Gym Dog. So she walked on. She'll get a scholarship next year, but at the time, Georgia had none left.
Boy, are the Gym Dogs happy to have her. What a job she's done. She already has 3 9.95s in this event this season.
She's really taking her success in stride. She's quite a humble gymnast, always looking to improve. A handspring layout, solid. We see a lot of similarities to another Georgia great, Kim Arnold. Just a little bit in the way that she performs, the way that she moves her body. Jen, don't count any one of these teams out of this competition yet. Georgia is a championship program. They know how to win. They will be able to handle this kind of pressure. Last event, and Florida, they're at home. Floor may not be their strongest event, but they're competing in front of that home crowd. They're going to feed off that energy. So this is going to be a close competition right to the end.
A home crowd that has seen this Florida team win 15 straight at home.
Kelsey has been extremely solid throughout this entire routine. Dismount, cartwheel, gainer full. No deductions on that landing. Great job.
Kelsey comes out and does what she has to do, is rewarded with a 9.875 for the Gym Dogs on beam.
I'm quite impressed with the way that Kelsey's come back. Remember, she had the fall on bars. It did not phase her. She's getting the job done for Georgia here. Solid tumble series there, back handspring layout.
As we talked about, getting over it and moving on. Certainly seems that Kelsey was able to do that. Florida crowd trying to get their team riled up a little bit for their final rotation on floor. You gotta love to compete on floor. You get to see so much character. The teams really get to show their individual personalities. And, you know, Lori, from one walk-on to another, because Savannah Evans, this is the only event she's competing in for the Gators, and she is a walk-on.
And this is an event that she can show off her great front tumbling, opening with front handspring, double twisting front layout, and of course, her style and spirit. She'll have a huge smile throughout this entire routine. She's having a great time competing at Florida. 1.5 twist to a front layout, right into a Shushanova. There's the smile. There's another interesting story behind Savannah. She was coached by Kathy Dwyer out of Destin, Florida, and Kathy was a former gym dog. She walked on to Georgia's team, had an injury, and turned out to be their strength and conditioning coach. She was a tough coach to those girls. A lot of complaints from the gym dogs at that time. She was a tough coach for Savannah as well, but it's paid off. I'm sure she's quite proud of her to see her competing for Florida now. Most definitely a crowd pleaser here. They love the kind of music they can get up to. The young children can stand up and dance along with these athletes.
How could you not be clapping along to this, doing that little gator chomp that Savannah just threw in?
Every routine from Florida with that gator chomp. It's a tradition. Front full, front tuck, and a big finish with, of course, that signature big smile.
Now, Savannah may be a walk-on, and this may be her only event, but she is expected to score big. Florida needs it. She gets a 9.875. You've got to remember, Florida is having to come from behind in this final rotation, so every point, every tenth of a point counts.
She is a beautiful gymnast who has worked extremely hard through her entire career. And now it's paying off. She's able to perform in front of this Florida crowd and really have a lot of fun with her teammates.
Corey Fritzinger, certainly someone who doesn't mind performing in front of a crowd, even if it might be a hostile one in enemy territory.
We mentioned before, Corey's love of competing under pressure in those intense situations, and 9 times out of 10, she comes through. Important tumbling pass here, 2 back handsprings, layout right over the top of the beam. Gator layout, she does that so well, technically perfect. We talked about Marlene Stevens being one of the key pieces to their puzzle. I think Corey is as well. She was freshman of the year, her freshman year. I think she needs to gain that kind of confidence back. Saw 9.9 from her on bars. She's capable of having those kinds of scores on every single event. Here on beam, she's been pretty good, but I'm seeing these tiny little bobbles, major bobble right there. Corey has the talent. She has that competitive fire. She just needs to build that confidence, start getting a few great meets under her belt, get that ball rolling, get the momentum going, and then we're going to see some great stuff from Corey. And then Georgia will be back on track as well.
Beautiful dismount, and Corey finishes with a 9.825. Another solid routine. Georgia not feeling the pressure or the sweat down their temple too much just yet.
Corey hit the big stuff, like this tumble series. 2 back handsprings to a layout. Solid and aggressive. There was just half-tenth wobbles and then that 1/10 wobble on the leaf series.
Back to Gainesville, Florida. Jen Hildreth along with Lori Strong-Ballard. We are in the home stretch. The final few gymnasts getting ready to compete. We've gone back and forth trading scores here, Lori, but Florida's behind. They really need to have a breakout score.
Florida's looking for those 9.9s and 9.95s, and with Erin Dooley and Orly Smooch still to come, Florida's still in the race. Opening pass, round up a handspring, double pike, nice big finish. Not seeing quite the difficulty level that we saw from Georgia on this event. But a 10-0 start value is still a 10-0 start value. The judges can only deduct then for mistakes on landings, bent knees, unpointed toes. So in the end, it evens out. Sometimes it doesn't pay off to do those huge, difficult skills.
One thing Rhonda Fain said when I talked to her before the meet, Lori, was that they took down some of the difficulty levels because they had been getting those deductions and they wanted to see some cleaner routines here tonight.
She also talked about the importance of not putting an athlete on the floor, competing something that they're not ready to do. The importance of building her athlete's confidence. And that's what she's doing a great job here. You talk to any of her athletes and they talk about how much more confident they are in these last 2 years and how much more fun they're having as well. Front layout, front hike. All right, a good job. I'm not sure if it's good enough for those 995s that Florida needs right now. Again, not the difficulty that we saw from Georgia, but still a 10-0 start value.
9.875 is a season high there for Erin Dooley, so she puts up a good score for her team. We take another look.
Opening pass, round off back handspring, double pike. This is a D-level skill. Executed very nicely.
And Erin did do enough. Her team still has a chance, but Lori, Kinsey Rowe has a chance to clinch it for Georgia. A 9.875 or better will guarantee Georgia at least a tie.
And talk about pressure on Kinsey going last up when Georgia really needs a big score here. But if there's someone that I would want in this position, it would be Kinsey. The last 10 of 15 performances on the beam, she has scored a 9.9 or better. Important skill right there, her tumble series, a little bit off. She held tight on the landing. Very small deduction. Another huge skill right here. Here it is, full twisting swing down. One of the few collegiate gymnasts to compete that element, big time difficulty. One of the great things that Kinsey does is the work with her arms in her choreography. Beautiful finish all the way down to her fingertips. Required leap and jump connection right there. She dropped her right shoulder in the straddle jump, but she's thinking, Jen. She's concentrating, she has calm confidence. She's been off a little bit on some of the skills. She's been able to hold on for a minimum of deductions. Just the dismount. This meet is riding on Kinsey's shoulders, a double twist. She holds on to the landing. A great final performance for the Gym Dogs.
Yeah, Florida's win streak might be in jeopardy, and it indeed is. Kinsey Rowe gets a 9.9. That is enough to seal it for the Georgia Gym Dogs. What a performance by Kinsey Rowe when the pressure was on.
Here it is, that important tumble series. You know she was feeling the nerves before this. Two back handsprings layout. She pulls up a little bit crooked in her lunge, but is tight and hangs on to the landing.
Georgia had been somewhat inconsistent in this event throughout the season, but they finished with a 49.3. Very solid performance by the Gym Dogs. That leaves Orly Smooch up for Florida. Pretty much all this is to have a good time and go out and try to get your best score now, right, Lori?
Absolutely, Jen. And you know, it's not all about wins and losses. These athletes, these coaches, are still trying to prepare their teams for the big show, the SEC championships, the national championships. So this is an important performance for Orly in terms of preparation for the future. Orly is a key athlete on this Florida team. Their top all-arounder. She's had a little bit of struggles tonight, falling on bars. Not quite in the zone that we're usually seeing her compete in. Second pass, front layout. Done with ease. The fans here at Florida absolutely love this athlete. She puts 100% into every performance.
And she says she likes to have fun out there. She's always joking and laughing and not too serious. It's kind of what keeps her calm.
She really is an amazing athlete to watch. A lot of fun. Unique dance that she's showing off here. She's not just going through the movement, she's feeling it. Last pass, you saw her taking a deep breath. It's a big one. not enough fuel, not enough gas to finish it off. Double back last pass, that is tough in terms of endurance. Last event, she's struggling tonight.
So close to getting there, but comes up with that last fall and winds up with a 9.275. Definitely a rough night for Orly.
Quite often you see this from some of the great athletes. They're going so strong, hitting routine after routine for their team. Every once in a while you do have a little bit of a mental and a physical breakdown. It's okay, she'll be back next meet.
And that's the important part, getting back up and getting ready for next time. Tonight, though, Florida finishes with a 49.050 on floor. That was their worst score of the night. Not exactly the way they wanted to finish, but you don't always get the finishes you want. As it is, the Georgia Gym Dogs come out on top, and Lori Strong-Ballard is standing by.
Thanks, Jen. As we promised, a great competition right to the end, and Georgia comes out with the win. Suzanne, you told me before the competition that you have not yet seen the full potential of this team. Did they take the right steps?
Well, I think they did because the meet was very close at the end, and under pressure we nailed our beam routine. So from that respect, we definitely showed some improvement today under pressure, but we still are so far from peaking. This team really has tremendous potential.
You only had one all-arounder competing tonight. Was that done on purpose, or were you just making use of your full depth?
We were just trying to mix some things up, do some different things. We have another competition on Sunday, so we had to think about that one as well in terms of the lineup.
Resting some of your big guns, definitely. And Kinsey, a great competition for you. 3 key scores from you, and the highlight was beam going last up, scoring 9-9 ultimately. That is what sealed the deal for Georgia. How'd it feel?
Thanks. Yeah, it felt great. You know, everybody in front of me did the job, so to be honest with you, going in, I thought that we were already in first place, so the pressure was off of me thanks to my teammates.
Well, congratulations, guys, and good luck with the rest of the season. Back to you, Jen.
Thank you, Lori. The Gym Dogs did take the team title, but Samantha Lutz from Florida is the all-around winner. She was competing in the all-around for the first time ever, and her total was the highest total ever by a Florida Gator, making their all-around debut at 39.450 for Samantha Lutz. But what a meet it was. Back and forth, Georgia and Florida. This rivalry extends into all sports for these two schools, and tonight was no different. For Lori Strong-Ballard, I'm Jen Hildreth. See you next time.